friends, we are back at it again. I think this is our first continuing series I'm in the middle of video of the new year. We are going to be continuing these in the new year though, because we still got lots of series we're in the middle of. Series we're going to be starting, so on and so forth. I will admit, I've already read one of the books, and you guys have already, well, I've already filmed my thoughts and feelings on it, and that is this one. But I'm going to go over the books that we are going to be reading in this video. We are going to be finishing Chestnut Springs by reading Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This is about Bo Eaton. He is the town prince, a handsome military hero with a tortured past. Bailey Jensen is the outcast bartender, a shy girl from the wrong side of the tracks. He's 35 and all man. She's 21 and all virgin. He's also her fiance. Correction, her fake fiance. It starts out as a bet, a point for Bo to prove, and it's a win-win. Bo gets a break from his concerned family's prying, and Bailey gets a chance to shed her family's reputation while she saves up to ditch this small town for good. All she can do is wear his ring, follow his lead, and pretend she can't keep her hands off of him in public. Easy enough, right? But what happens between them in private that blurs all those carefully drawn lines is what transpires behind closed doors that don't feel like pretending at all. This engagement was supposed to be for show. This agreement it has an end date. Bo once told Bailey he'd never fall in love, and she's determined to make him change his mind. So we'll read that. I'm trying to keep my current thoughts and feelings about it out of here because I already have them. Then I did read like the first page of this book. I haven't gotten much further. This is the finale of another series. So we're actually finishing out 2 series in this video, which is so exciting. This is Road Trip with a Vampire by Jenna Levine. This is the 3rd book. The first one is My Roommate is a Vampire. The second one is My Vampire Plus One. And this series is very interesting because it does not have good reviews on Goodreads, and I hate vampires. I think vampires are cringy and corny, and they're my least favorite mythical creature. But I love this series. I love it so much. These books are just like a hee-hee-ha-ha time. They're goofy, and it's just like what I need sometimes. So this is reformed bad witch Griselda Zelda Watson has hoped to never see another vampire again when she slipped away to sunny California for a fresh start. She'd grown tired of them and their nonsense ages ago. But when a vampire with amnesia unexpectedly shows up at her doorstep with a letter from her old friend Reggie and asks for her help, she can't say no. Of course, it doesn't hurt that Peter Elliott is tall and gorgeous, looks great in yoga shorts, and has the kind of dark hair and surly expression that for hundreds of years Zelda's been a sucker for. Peter isn't completely harmless. He is fanged after all, but he's harmless enough that soon becomes the only person in Zelda's new life who knows the truth about what she is. If she can help him decipher the cryptic notes in his journal, the only clues to his lost memories, she might as well try before sending him on his way. But when an alarming message from Peter's past coincides with a clear sign that Zelda can't keep running from her own, they embark on a cross-country road trip for answers, only to find what they're looking for is in each other. So we will continue on that, and then I do have Sawyer, which is the 3rd book in the Lucky River Ranch series. I read the first 2 books. The 4th book, Duke, is out. I don't know if it's 4 total, but this says, a recently divorced single mom, Ava Bartlett, has zero interest in flirting with guys on the weekend away with her sisters. She just wants to have fun and listen to live music at a honky-tonk. But when she literally stumbles into the most gorgeous guy ever on the dance floor, those plans go up in smoke. Growing up on the barrel racing circuit, Ava's seen her fair share of sexy cowboys, but this particular one is hot as hell. Sawyer's got a mustache, tattoos, and a very filthy mouth. Needless to say, they end up naked in his swanky hotel room, and the way Sawyer treats her like a queen, a girl could get used to that kind of adoration. Good thing he's only a one-night stand Ava can look back on with a smile. She's rebuilding her life from scratch, and she needs to focus on her 3-year-old daughter and the dream job she just landed. Imagine her surprise when she moves to Hartsville and runs into a familiar tattooed cowboy with an adorable daughter of his own. Sawyer wants nothing more than the occasional playdates between their girls, and the closer they become, the more determined the sexy single dad is to keep her forever. And as much as Ava's falling for Sawyer, she's been down this road before with her ex, and she wonders if she can truly trust a cowboy like him. So we've got a good old yeehaw coming at you. You all have just seen the intro, but I've not filmed the intro yet. So you know, I'm starting with Hopeless by Elsie Silver, and I wanted to film this intro right meow because I am about 35-40%, I think I'm like 38% of the way into Hopeless, and I stopped there because with Elsie Silver books, I feel like the 40% mark is where I get sucked in and then I don't want to stop. So to make sure I told you about the book, we stopped there. This is not going great, I will admit, which is like kind of a bummer. I gave book 1 in this series 3 stars, and then I gave book 2 4 stars, and I know I gave book 3 5 stars, and then I think book 4 either 4.5 5 stars, and so this is feeling more 3.5-ish. Part of it is it does have my favorite trope of like fake dating, fake marriage, whatever, but it has a lot of tropes I don't like in this book, and it's so far been very repetitive and annoying. So this is Beau's book, which mild spoiler for the other books, but I feel like little mild spoilers are par for the course with a series video, continuing series, because you gotta reference things to talk about the current book. But this is Beau's book. In my favorite book, in the purple one, Powerless, we have the guy in this book, Beau. He is in the military and he becomes like missing in action, and he becomes they end up finding him. He's okay, whatever. So now this is him. He's back home. He's had like skin grafts on his feet because he like got like severe burns, and he's helping with the ranch. He hates doing ranching, but he's like trying his best. He's dealing with PTSD and a lot of things. He's kind of just trying to like mask everything. He can't sleep because of the nightmares and the night terrors that he has, and so he's going to this bar all the time to basically drink himself to sleep. At the bar, we have our bartender, Bailey. She is, I think he's 35 and she's 22. It's like the virgin trope. I think that's my least favorite trope ever, is the virgin trope. I just hate it. I think it is corny as hell. So it's the virgin trope. So we have Bailey. She comes from this family called the Jensen family, and they're like the family from the wrong side of the tracks. Nobody likes them, and everybody basically shits on her because she is a Jensen. Everybody in the town is mean to her. She was severely bullied in school, all because of who her family is. Her dad is a drug addict, in and out of jail. Her mom abandoned their family, and her brothers are following in their father's footsteps, committing crime, doing drugs, and just wreaking havoc throughout the town. Though Bailey is like on the straight and narrow, and she's literally just trying to work her ass off to save money to get out of this town so she can go somewhere where nobody knows her name and can't judge her. So one night she's closing at the bar, and Beau is there, and he's kind of like watching this one guy, like he's kind of there having her back, when he finds out that Sunday through Tuesday she closes alone, and he doesn't like the idea of her being at the bar by herself. So he like makes it his job to sit there with her until it is time to leave, and she stops serving him alcohol and will only serve him chamomile tea, because if he needs sleep, then she'll give him some nice chamomile tea and he can go home and get some shut-eye. So as the story unfolds, he catches her trespassing onto his family's property. She's literally just taken a dip in the river because she refuses to live in the house on her family's property because it's disgusting, trash. She doesn't want to be near her brothers. So she brought a trailer that is on the property, but it's not air conditioned. So it's summer. She's sweating to death. He catches her. They start talking, and he's talking about how he kind of like made a fool of himself at the bar when he like confronted somebody and her brothers and whatever. And she's like, yeah, well, it doesn't really matter if you make a fool of yourself. You're an Eaton. Like, everybody is going to forgive you and move on. She's like, but if I did it, it would be all I was known for, basically. And so there's this whole topic of like your family name and how it in this town kind of defines you. And so he's like, well, we can get married and you can have my name and see how people treat you, and you'll see that like just because you're an Eaton doesn't mean you're treated so great, blah 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 blah. And so she's like, I'm not marrying you, da 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 da. He's like, well, how about we just like pretend to be engaged? And she's like, well, what are you getting out of this? And he's like, well, I really need my family off my back. Like, they're being very overbearing. Like, I understand that they care about me, but like they're being very over the top, and I'm getting annoyed by it. So if they think that like I'm in this good, happy situation, they'll get off my back. They agree. They're now fake engaged, but obviously they're both attracted to each other. He already like has feelings for her. But yeah, I don't know. The amount of times they have referenced him being like special ops, secret agent, dot 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 dot, like about a million, like every chapter it's brought up, and I just don't fucking care. So that part's really annoying me. It's very repetitive, but I feel like I always feel that way at the beginning of this series and the Chestnut Springs. I don't think I didn't really like, besides the hockey one, I didn't like any of them at the beginning, and then I ended up liking them by the end. So here's to hoping that the rest of it goes great. Well, my friends, we have done it. We have finished this book, and we have finished Chestnut Springs. This book, you guys, was not good. I gave book 1 in the series 3 stars. I gave the middle books 2, 3, and 4 to 5 stars. And then this was my least favorite. I did give this book 2 stars. And I don't know what is happening where, like, with all these interconnected series, the last book just, like, not being good. Part of this is that I think that the virgin trope is just not good. It's never good. I hate it. And it proceeded to be fucking stupid throughout this entire book. So I kind of already told you guys what it was about. So we continued going on this road where, like, he's trying to prove to her, like, make people respect her. And it, like, there was just so many, like, contradictions in Beau's personality. Like, he would be like, nobody can tell Bailey what to do, nobody can treat her like this, like, nobody tells a woman what to do, blah 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 blah. And like, they're both like very obviously like, yeah, I want to like have sex with you, but he's like, oh my god, I can't do it because like you're just like this pure little sweet little virgin and it's so important, blah blah blah, your first time, blah blah blah. Whereas Bailey is like, well, here's the thing, buddy. Like, it's my virginity and I don't care. Like, I'm not holding it on this, like, big pedestal that you're holding it on. Like, I just want to have sex with you, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just, it's not like you're making it this big deal. And he was, like, constantly trying to, like, talk her into it being, like, a bigger deal than she thought it was. It was just really annoying. I could not stand Beau. I liked Bailey well enough, but Beau was insufferable. Insufferable. Couldn't stand him. 2 stars. Don't recommend. I mean, again, I said this about a different book in a recent video. If you've read the other 4, obviously finish out the series because why not? But it wasn't good. Y'all, I'm reading this so slow because my brain has just not been screwed on right, and by the time I get to bed, I didn't realize that this one was almost 400 pages. No wonder it feels like it's taking me forever to get through. I know that at least the first book is not nearly this long, but it's fine. This is good so far. I'm like maybe 35% of the way through. I have just my brain, you know? But this book is about Zelda, or Griselda. We've seen her bits and pieces in the other books, and she is living in California. She's a witch, and nobody knows she's a witch. She's like been living for like 400 years. She's living in California as like a yogi. She owns like a yoga studio with one of her friends, and she is friends with Reggie, who we meet in, his book is book 2, but we meet him in book 1. And they have not talked in a lot of years because basically she faked her death to kind of get the vampires off her back. So she is now living in California, living her life, when this guy, Peter, starts showing up in her life. And he basically like is like, oh, are you Griselda Watson? And she's like taken aback because nobody has called her that name in many, many, many years since she like faked her death and changed her identity and moved to California and became a yogi. So she's kind of taken aback, and they start talking, and he was actually sent there, literally shipped in a coffin by Reginald, because he has actual amnesia. He has no idea about like anything more than like 2 weeks ago. He woke up in this apartment, or he woke up in a bank, I think. He went to his apartment because everything was like written in this notebook, and he had his ID, and there was just like a big bag of money, and he has no idea really who he is, only that his ID says his name is Peter. And he needs help trying to figure life out. Well, also, he's a vampire. So, that's really where we're at. It's fine so far. It's not my favorite, but it's all good. I hope that I'm able to really lock into it, but that's just not been my reality. Okay, guys, I'm succumbing to the audiobook because for reading physically right now, I am loving reading and annotating books. Like, I think annotating has been so fun for me lately. And I'm not reading this physically. I'm reading it, I have it on my Kindle. And the audio just became available on Libby. And I feel like that's the universe telling me to just listen to the audio. I'm like 40% of the way in. But the chapters are all really, really long. And there is like this big like multiple page section at the front of like every single chapter. It's like many pages long, that's in italicized font, and the way it like hurts my eyes to read italicized font for like huge blocks of text like that is actually making me resent this book. And I don't want to not like this book because I've loved every other book in the series. So we're gonna switch to audio for this, and plus, I don't know when this video is gonna come out. The video I'm about to talk about. I'm doing a Sisterhood of the Traveling book situation where me and a bunch of my friends from my D&D group are like doing the Sisterhood of the Traveling books thing, and I just got my new book in the mail, and I would love to start reading that and like annotating and doing the whole thing. And I think I'm so excited about that I'm trying to just like, I want to be done with this so I can move on to that. Like, that's my prize. So when I checked for the audio, there was one copy available, and so I had to take it. So we're switching to audio for this. Well, for better or for worse, I am done with this book. And I hate to say this, I'm giving it 3 stars, which to me 3 stars is not a bad rating. 3 stars is like average. But because I gave the other 2 books in this series 5 stars, the 3 stars just feels sad. It felt too long. It felt literally like 60 pages too long. It was very drawn out. And there was just something about these characters of Peter and Zelda that I didn't love as much. The first 2 books, the male main character, the vampire character, was so funny and so goofy. And like, the first book we have Frederick, and he has been in a coma, and he's like from the 1800s, doesn't know how to function, doesn't have any like pots and pans, and when she asks him about it, all of a sudden the entirety of Williams-Sonoma is in their apartment because he just got them all. In the second one, Reggie is very like over the top, wearing like leopard pants and fur coats with a chartreuse turtleneck, like being, well, going scrapbooking, doing all of this crazy stuff and being just so kooky. But in this, Peter was just so deeply uninteresting. He woke up with amnesia, and he just keeps telling Zelda the whole time that like, oh, I think I'm a bad person. And I was bored. So we're giving this 3 stars. We're done with it. Next up is going to be Sawyer. Is that what it's called? The cowboy one? Yeah. Next up, we'll read Sawyer. Okay, little cutie pies. We are about halfway through Sawyer by Jessica Peterson. This is book 3 in the Lucky River Ranch series. I think this is going to be a 5-book series, so we're about halfway through the series when we finish this book. This is not my favorite cowboy series. I think my favorite cowboy series is the Done and Dusted series by Lila Sage, and I definitely think I liked Chestnut Springs more than this. What other cowboys have I read? That's hockey. That's just kind of small town. That's small town. I don't know that I've read any other specifically cowboy romances, but this series is feeling just okay to me, and I do feel that way about this one, which I'm really bummed about because I expected to really love this because this is single mom and single dad, and I do love a single dad romance. And I do really like that part. So we have got our main girl, her name is Ava, and our main guy, he is Sawyer. And they're both single parents. They both have daughters around the same age. And the spice is actually what is bumming me out for this. And I thought I got over my like aversion to spice. But because of the nature of this book, they basically meet in Austin one night out of the blue at a honky-tonk. And they hook up and have this miraculous night of sex. They don't really discuss their lives, and they both bounce the next day. And they don't know that each of them is a parent. And then fast forward, Ava just got this new job in the same city as the Lucky River Ranch. And so they end up going to this barn raising where they're introduced by people in Sawyer's family because he figures his daughter Ella and her daughter, why can't I figure out what the other little girl's name is? Is Ella? I've seen Ella's name literally on like every page. Junie. They call her Junie. So Ella is Sawyer's daughter and Junie is Ava's daughter, and so they become fast friends and they start having these play dates. But their like sex scene in the beginning of this book was like 3 chapters long. And it's like the first couple of chapters, and I'm just like... So that really kind of like set us off on the wrong foot. But now we're getting to the point where Ava is kind of explaining to Sawyer how like raising a kid, like they have a lot of feelings about single parents. Sawyer doesn't want anybody to feel like he is pushing Ella on them and making them kind of like pay for decisions he's made in his life. He wants his family to enjoy Ella and spend time with her because they want to, not because they feel like they have to. So he is reluctant to ask for help. Whereas Ava has only lived in this town for a short period of time, and she has already developed a huge support system with the people in the town, friends, neighbors, a nanny, getting this like group that she needs. And Sawyer's parents have passed away when he was younger. Ava still is really close with her family and her siblings, even if they don't live nearby. So she's kind of opening his eyes to that, as well as he is kind of being the first person in Ava's life to be really accepting of her being very outgoing. She's the type of girl who like, she wants to have sex and she's going to tell you. And her ex, Junie's dad, was very negative towards her for being able to ask for what she wants, and Sawyer is very accepting and encouraging for her to do these things. And so it's really nice getting to see their relationship bloom in that way. Both of their girls are going to the same preschool, and there's been a lot of talk about how both of them are like upset about not being able to give their daughters siblings, which we already know that's gonna end in, oh, they get to be sisters and best friends. But so far it's been fine. It's feeling like a 3. I am somebody, and let me know down below where you land. When you start a book, where does it start? I have had friends say they don't have any sort of baseline rating when they read a book. My friend Andrea says when she starts a book, all books start as a 5-star, and then they can lose or gain, lose, gain, whatever. For me, I'm a realist, okay? I start a book and every book is a 3. And it either gets better or it gets worse. Because 3 is the baseline of it was an okay book. Glad I read it, moving on. And this is still feeling like a 3, which is what I did give book 1, and I gave book 2 4 stars. I've really liked book 2, and this one's currently feeling like a 3. I hope it picks up in the second half. That's typically what happens in these kind of romances. That happened quite a bit with the Elsie Silver Chestnut Spring series. So we'll see how the second half goes. But where we're at now, they are about to go on their first actual real life date. So happy to see where that goes for them. We're gonna actively ignore if my nose looks crazy, because I have got a mountainous pimple growing there, but it has been a long time coming. We're finally done with this video. I think I still had Christmas decorations up when I started this video, which is actually a jump scare. But I just finished the audio for Sawyer, and I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I thought this was gonna be so good, and I feel like this continuing series video was just not been good. I gave this 2 stars. So we had a 1 star, a 3 star, and a 2 star in this video. That's so bad. This is the 3rd book in this series. I gave the first book 3 stars, the second book 4 stars. And I had really high hopes for Sawyer, because this is single mom and single dad, and I tend to like those tropes. But their relationship, to me, yes, there was like some sweet parts of it, but so much of their relationship was just physical, and that's fine if you're just looking for a spicy time. I think you really like this, but that's not what I look for in romances. I like a deep emotional connection. I want to cry. I want to feel their love, and I just did not feel that with Sawyer and with Ava. It felt so surface level for so much of the book. Even when they're talking about like having the girls together and they're living together and doing these things together, it's like, and we're becoming masters of sneaking away. They're doing this, we'll have a quickie in the car. They're doing this, we'll have a quickie in the bathroom. Okay, I just almost passed right away. So, for me, it was a major flop. I do have book 3 in the series, or 4 in the series, and I will buy book 5. I'll get the whole thing. If I end up giving books 4 and 5 a 2 or a 1, I will probably unhaul the whole series to my sister, and that'll be that. This series is giving me the same feelings as like the Sugar Lake whatever series by Emily McIntyre, as well as supposedly Love Light Farms series by B.K. Borison, where every book just feels kind of fine. I really liked Wyatt though. I loved Wyatt. It was so good. but this just wasn't it. So with that being said, we are done with this video. Let me know if you've read any of these series, what you think about them. Leave either a cowboy or a vampire emoji down below. Just let me know you made it to the end. And I will see you next time. Subscribe if you are not. Bye.